Hi everyone and welcome back to On the Plus Side with myself, Sharon D. This is I can't say emergency broadcast unless hair colour is a broadcast. Let's see. Okay, so for those that don't know, I'm Sharon D and I'm with Island's Got Curves, but also I am an award-winning hair and makeup artist, and my inbox has been full, and I don't mind because I love helping people out, and in these times we really do need help. The main thing people are worried about is people seeing their true colour, and I mean true colour as in the roots and all the rest of it. So I'm going to give you my top tips for looking after your hair at home, your DIYs and your DIY don'ts, and all the rest of it. So before we get on to the hair colouring and the roots, first thing we're going to do is deal with the kids, because personally I love to see lads with like floppy hair and all the rest of it, but they kind of don't, and I think they need a bit of a refresh themselves. So if you are able, and if you've ever thought about maybe trimming your kids' hair, now might just be the time. Now, total disclaimer, I'm only telling you what I know. I'm not advising you do this. And yeah, you probably don't even have hairdressing scissors at home. Probably just got kitchen scissors. So this is why I'm saying the young lads, because the young lads' hair is going to grow again. Let's face it, 3 more weeks, they'll be ready for another haircut. So providing you leave their ears intact, you know, what can go wrong? Okay, famous last words. I'm sorry, kids. So what I say, girls' hair, leave them alone. Leave them be. Don't even try. At the most, if the bangs or the fringe is coming into the eyes, and they won't wear a hairband to keep it back or something like that, do a little plaid across the front. If they won't do that, maybe a little trim, just the smidgens, just the tiniest bits off the ends of the bangs. Cut it when it's dry, and also instead of just blunt cutting it this way, point cut it up this way, and I'll be showing you how in a moment. Yeah, so without further ado, boys' haircuts. You know, what can go wrong? Let's have a try. Okay guys, so I have my willing victim. Are you willing?
Yeah.
You kind of need a haircut anyway, don't you? Look at these highlights going out. So if you've got hair that's just grown completely out, just turn this way for me. See, when Liam's hair grows, it gets kind of curly. And yeah, is it kind of in your face? Do you want a haircut?
Yeah.
Do you need one, do you think?
Yeah.
More than one. Okay, so what you could do with this is just to give like a tiny little trim, just to neaten up. And literally, you could just take your scissors and your hands. I also suggest just take off the smallest wisps of bits and you just snip them away. And that's really going to, if I just did that bit alone and just took off the extra kind of wispy bits, that alone is going to give it a bit more shape to it and kind of tidy it up a bit. But we'll go into more depth now, okay? So what I'm going to begin to do is just to part the hair. I'm just going to look where the arch of the eyebrow is, you could say here. And I'm just going to bring the comb down and just give myself, just turn this way, just give myself this much hair to be working with. I'm actually cutting Liam's hair dry today because I just think hair stretches. So if you're cutting it dry, you can actually see exactly what you'll be cutting. So just keep your head straight but to that way. Are you okay?
Yeah.
So you're just going to use your comb and just take the first section here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to suggest that you just take off these end bits if that's all you need to do, just to neaten up. Follow the steps, start with just the end bits. But I'm actually going to go a bit deeper, and I'm going to actually use my finger against the scalp, so all the hair will be the width of my finger, okay? So what I'm going to do is just mind your ears, okay? And I'm just going to cut this directly up. If you keep your head straight for me, directly up. So I'm just cutting a line evenly all the way up in a line with my fingers, okay? So then I'm going to take the next section and do the same. Now, if you're just doing the end bits, you just cut it to the length of the first cut that you made, but I'm just using my finger as a guide all the way, and I'm just roughly cutting it up. I don't have to cut it too accurately or anything like this. You take your next section, and bear in mind you've got your part in there, okay? Next section, can you keep your head up straight for me? Just keep remembering to check if the head's up straight, and if it isn't, then just move it up straight, because otherwise you're going to end up with a wonky haircut. Do you want that, Liam? No. And then you're just going to literally do that, if you can see, all the way around the top of the hair there. This bit of hair, I just need to part again because I'm staying in within this part in here. Just turn, I'm going to have your head turned all the way around your body. So I'm coming in here, and the same thing again, and under here, and the same thing again. So already you can see that that is taking shape around here. Then you'll see these bigger bits go up into there to make sure it's all taken in, and up into here, and up into here. So you see that that's already taken a weight off. We'll bring you back this way. You can see it's already neatened it up. Now what I'm going to do is brush these bits forward, so you can see it's nearly obvious what to cut because you've got these wispy bits. So I'm just going to go in here. I'm not going to take these sideburns, just going to go in here and just take that in, so when I bring that back it sits nicely around here. The sideburns, be careful of the ears. Just going to move this way. For the sideburns, you're going to brush them down. And the tip I would use is just to find a mark on the ear. Bear in mind, this is just something you're doing at home to tidy up. Go very slow and very careful. Make sure you remind them to stay still. And then you can just shape in that other bit there. Is that okay? Now, what I'm going to do with these bits here around the ear, I don't want anyone going around the ears. So I'm going to lift them up into pull them forward, and I'm just going to take them bits that side, and the bits from the front I'm going to pull this way and bring them back this way. So I'm over directing, so I'm bringing it this way, then I'm bringing it this way, and that will just give you a neater shape around the ear, which means you haven't had to go in and shape around the ear, because at home I really wouldn't recommend that. This bit here might need a little blend, or you know, that bit's actually belonging there. So you can see there you have the makings of start of a haircut. So we're going to just do that all the way around. So what I'm going to do then with these bits, can you just put your chin to your chest, Liam? And I'm just going to get, you see these little wispy bits? I'm going to brush I'm going to comb them this way, not too much, just like that. Relax and stay very still for me. I'm just going to run the scissors, or actually, sorry, for at home you're best to do it with your hands. Just, you see the wispy bits that need to come off. I'm going to part the hair, do the same thing as the other side, look for the arch of the eyebrow and part the hair roughly there. And we're going to take the sections like we did on the other side. And same principle, just mind your knuckles when you're doing it this side, okay? And boys' hair does grow like wildfire. So it doesn't really matter, it's going to grow very quick. Hand, see the ear here is being covered by my hand the whole time. The marking on the ear, or you could turn back and you can kind of look, okay, and you'll know where to cut. And then bring this side back over the ear and cut, and this side this way over the ear and cut. And these bits here, again, with the top of the hair. You say bye to these highlights. We're going to come in with the top of the hair. So we're going to brush the hair forwards, and we're going to start with a section at the back here. Just put your head down so we can see. You just part the hair across, okay? Bring back for me. Now this bit of the hair, you're just going to bring it, I'll stand here so you might see it better, bring it up and just make your first cut, however much you want to take off. As I said, start lower and build up. So you're going to take your next section and you're just going to use that first piece of hair that you cut is going to be your guide. It's going to be what you're going to use. You see it here? So you're going to match the next piece of hair to that. So now you have a neat line there, okay? You're going to take your next section. The front bit here, I normally leave till after, just because that's the bit that's going to be around the face. So I want to see how that's going to look. So what you do then, remember the kind of eyebrow shape we use. We're going to use a bit more of the hair now. We're going to take just this middle bit, as if it was a Mohican. We're just going to lift this up. And what you should see, I'll just neaten that up. What you should see is a line along the middle of the hair. Sorry, I'm trying to see the line along the middle of the hair matching up to a nice smooth finish, okay? The front bit then, what are we going to do with you? We will leave you like this. No.
I get my eyes.
It gets in your eyes, does it? So I'm going to just cut this first of all as if it was a fringe, because do you see, you can nearly see it. Can you see where the eyebrows are, where the hair starts to kick out a bit? I'm just going to go in here like this and just give a rough, very rough, just close your eyes if that's going in your eyes, a rough cut across, right? So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this hair and I'm going to cut into it. So instead of cutting across very bluntly, I'm going to be cutting up the way. Mind your fingers here. And that would just take that very rough or that very blunt edge away. So we'll just give it a bit more texture. And again here. And it's just going to give that bit more texture. Now, so yes, you could leave it like this if you wanted to. It's more neater, you know, it's certainly more neater than we started off with. So you could leave it something like this if you wanted to. I'm just going to thin out his hair. His hair is very thick. So like I did to the front, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to texturize, point cut the top of it, just to thin it out a bit and just to take that kind of harsh look away from it. But you don't have to do this. There we have, so a very quick, very brief scissor cut. Is your head straight for me? And you can wear this either way. You normally go this side, do you? Or the other side?
That side.
This side. Okay. So it just shows you nice and neat, you can cut things. So it didn't take long, and it's just a neat boy's haircut, just to tidy it up. The bit of gel in it normally helps, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And there we go. So if you feel like taking that on yourself, totally up to you. As I say, disclaimer here, but some people are, they're just sick of looking at the kids touching their face, which at the moment we don't want to be doing. The other thing is, if you have clippers or a machine, what I would advise you to do, make sure you've oiled the blades. Even WD-40 at this stage, just to keep the blades oiled. If you don't, it's going to pull the hair. It's actually going to be quite sore. Start with the highest number, so the thickest blade, normally around a 4, maybe a 5. 4 would be the kind of colour that cut that you can cut with your own hands if you used your finger as a guide. So I think some of them go up to like a size 8. So just start with the blade at the highest first, and hold the ears back when you're cutting. Keep the ears back so you can just cut around there. But yeah, as I say, wait for the professionals if you can. At the most, I would just give a quick scissor trim as you've just seen, and then wait for the skin fades and all the rest for the barbers to come back. Now, your barbers, what can you do in the meantime? And your salons, remember, buy gift cards. They are struggling at the moment. They're used to having their books full, and their books will be crazy full when they reopen. They just have to like work like Edward Scissorhands. But or you know what you could do as well, why not, if you're friendly with your salon, ask if you can book a one-to-one with them, like a Skype call or a FaceTime call, and they can walk you through whatever it is they can do from their ends. A lot of hairdressers, we are limited with our insurance as to what we can do, which is why I've disclaimed myself from everything that I'm saying in this video. It's just, yeah, insurance and all the rest of it. So my top tip, DIY home colour. Drum roll please. Don't do it. My top tip is not to do it at home. Lads, you could use this time to give your hair a break from all the colouring. Do some really nice treatments. If you've not got treatments at home, conditioner on your hair, leave it wrapped up in a clip, put a plastic bag over your head if you want, and give it a time. Now, the reason we say this, although I will be giving you some tips, the reason we say this is it's a chemical. Hair dye is a chemical. And a lot of box colours have a chemical reaction to our salon colours. So salon colours have a lot more conditioners and everything else going in, feeding your hair and keeping it in that lovely condition. But we can clash. So if you've used a box dye at home, when you come out to the salon, it can clash. So if you have, tell your hairdresser. She's not going to give out to you, but at least she's going to know what she's working with. Keep the box if at all possible. If you are using a box dye at home, please do a skin patch test. Even if it's one you've used before and you haven't used for a while, they could have put in extra chemicals or ingredients, and also you could have had something like, would you believe if you have a henna tattoo or henna dye on your eyebrows, that can affect how you will react to a hair dye. So skin patch test before, just mix up a little bit, dab behind the ear, leave it for 4 hours, 48 hours, and make sure that you're safe before you use it. If you have to do it at home, simply have to, never go darker. Do not go darker. It's really not a good idea to say, well, I need to blend it in and this is light and that, and I need to go darker. Do not go darker. It is so hard for salons to lift hair colour. I mean, we can do it, but colour correction costs a fortune and it's really quite hard on your hair. So if you have to do it, go lighter. If possible, now this is just what I'm thinking. This is no way, I've never read this anywhere, or, you know, so this just from my knowledge. If you have to, I would say use a salon branded hair dye, because it just might be more compatible with the salon's colours. Wash your hair less if you want to stop the colour fade. I mean, we're home. Do you know, if you can wash your hair less, the less washes, the less the colour's going to be stripped. Root spray. Now, it's all right me saying that, and it's on my list. I was in Tesco's the other day, there was no root spray left. So you know what I mean? They're in a little green tub. They're L'Oreal. You just spray on the colours and just disguise the roots. You can use eyeshadow. You can quite easily crush up a bit of eyeshadow and rub it on them really hot roots just to kind of blend them a little bit if you have to. No, it's not waterproof. No, it's not. You know, it's going to come off on your pillow and all the rest. It's not permanent, but it might just get you out of a fix, especially if you just go grey around these little areas around the ears where everyone does the sideburns. Just rub something just to hide it, If you're bleached hair or highlights and you're going a little bit brassy, a little bit orange, always use your toner and your shampoo, you know, the purple shampoos, and that should just brighten your hair right up again. As I said, help your salon. This is a really hard time. I'm doing this on Island's Got Curves platform, as loads of people have asked me, friends and family. No, I'm not coming round to cut your hair. I'm simply not going to see you until this is over. I'm sorry. Not sorry, but keeping my distance is keeping us together, you know, as we keep saying. So, yeah. The reason I'm doing this is so many messages, so many people are panicking about this, but at the end of the day, look, we're at home. Here I say this with a face full of makeup, but I'm on camera to you. We're at home. Put a treatment in your hair, same with your face, give your face a break from makeup. If you want to use a homemade mask, different things count. If you have a bit of acne, honey, cinnamon, them kind of things. If you're dry, mash up an avocado, pop that on the face, you know, and there's so many home things you could be doing. I'm sure if you Google, you'll find loads. Anything you do, test you're not allergic to first, and just enjoy your time. Treat your skin, treat your hair, chill out, spend your time doing, you know, other things, and let your hair and skin rest. But if you have to, please, skin patch test, keep the box. Bless yourself, light a candle, I don't know. If you can at all, just leave it alone. You've been listening to me, Sharon D, on the Plus Side with Island's Got Curves, and we will see you next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Bye.